نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. The second para, the second juz was recited today. So we continued with Surah Al-Baqarah. One ayah, inshallah, we'll go over it today. This is ayah number 177. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ليس البر أن تولوا وجوهكم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says more or less to the nearest meaning that righteousness is not just only that you turn your faces to the east and the west. وَلَكِنَّ الْبِرَّ, but rather righteousness is مَنْ آمَنَ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ, that one believes in Allah and the last day. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning here is sometimes as believers we can contain goodness, righteousness into few categories. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying it's a vast category. Just facing towards the Qibla for praying Salah, this is not only righteousness. This is also one of the categories of righteousness, but there are many more actions, because it is mentioned in the books of Tafsir. The Jews and the Christians made it a huge debate that whether you should face towards the east when worshipping Allah or you should face towards the west. So in other words, Allah is saying don't make it a huge point. This is also something that should be taken into consideration. But other than that, there are other good deeds also. What are the different branches of good deeds? Man amana billah, but the one who believes in Allah. Wal yawmil akhir, believes in the last day, meaning the world will come to an end and then we will all be resurrected on the day of judgment, and we will be held accountable for our deeds. Wal malaikati, and he believes in the angels. Wal kitabi, and in the book, meaning the Quran. Wal nabiyyin, and he believes in all the prophets. The beauty of Islam is we are not told just to believe in Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We are told to believe in all the prophets starting from Adam alayhi salam till Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's a very good point for giving da'wat. The Jews don't have to believe in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They only have to believe in Prophet Musa alayhi salam. The Christians don't have to believe in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to be Christians. They just have to believe in Jesus, Prophet Isa alayhi salam. But as Muslims, we have to believe in Jesus to be Muslim. We have to believe in Musa alayhi salam to be Muslim. Why? Because if one believes in Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but na'uzu billah denies the prophethood of Musa alayhi salam, would he remain a Muslim? He won't remain a Muslim. So denying the prophethood of even one Nabi takes us out of the fold of Islam. So this is a very good point to give da'wat amongst the non-Muslims, that look, this is the beauty of Islam. We cannot deny any prophet. Yes, the difference is we don't follow Torah, we don't follow the New Testament Bible. As far as following is concerned, we only follow the Quran and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So believing in all the prophets, وَآتَ الْمَالَ عَلَى حُبِّ, and the one who gives wealth despite his love for it. So if somebody has love for his own money that he earned in a halal manner, it's nothing wrong to have love. But that love should not stop him from spending in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the one who spends wealth, though despite he loves it, upon whom? Zawil qurba, on the relatives, wal yatama, on the orphans, wal masakin, on the helpless poor people, wabn as-sabil, on the travelers, was-sa'ilina, those who spread their hands, those who ask you for help, wafir riqab. Riqab comes from raqaba. In those days there were slaves. So those slaves to whom we can give money, and through that money they can buy out their freedom, we should help them out. This is the meaning. وَأَقَامَ الصَّلَاةَ وَآتَ الزَّكَاةَ. And the one who establishes salah and the one who gives zakat. وَالْمُوفُونَ بِعَهْدِهِمْ إِذَا عَاهَدُوا. And the act of those who fulfill their promises when they make a promise. First of all, we should not make a promise until we are 100% sure that we are going to fulfill it. Even if there is a slight chance that we might not be able to fulfill it, we should not do so. Making a promise and not fulfilling it is a major sin in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Once Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, somebody told him that I'm going to meet you at this time at this spot. So it was fixed. He stayed there for 3 days and the person did not show up except on the 3rd day. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you put me in a lot of trouble. So when we give a word to someone, we should think twice, and once we give it, we try to fulfill it. If because of unavoidable circumstances one is not able to fulfill it, then Allah will not hold us responsible. If for whatever reason down the road we realize we cannot fulfill it, then we should seek forgiveness from the opposite person, ask him for another chance. وَالصَّابِرِينَ فِي الْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ. And those who are patient in hardship and suffering. وَحِينَ الْبَأْسِ. And are patient in the battlefield. So these are all the different categories of good deeds, righteousness. أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا. Those are the ones who are truthful, meaning these people. وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُتَّقُونَ. And those are the people who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are all the different categories of goodness through which a person can become righteous in the sight of Allah. This once again gives us the message that we should not conclude deen only to salah or only to zakat, but rather the deen is very vast. Just one point and I'll wrap up for today. وَالسَّائِلِينَ. The word used here is sa'ilin, that is the plural of sa'il. The one who asks you, jo haath phailata hai, jo sawal karta hai. Allah says on another occasion, لِلسَّائِلِ وَالْمَحْرُومِ. Those people who give to the people who ask also, and give to the people who don't ask also. Jisko safed posh Urdu mein kehte hain. So we should not wait only for those people who come in front of us and ask us. Rather, we should look for those people who out of honor and self-respect, they don't spread our hands in front of us. It is mentioned, we had mentioned before also, Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah had a list of all the widows of Kufa. Kufa is still there in Iraq today. It was a famous city in the time of Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. Hundreds and thousands of Sahaba were there in Kufa, and there was an army garrison also in Kufa. So Imam Hanifa rahimahullah, he was a trader in clothing. He was a trader in clothing. So he had a list of all the widows of the city of Kufa, all the orphans of the city of Kufa, all the poor people of the city of Kufa. And he had their measurements for their clothing also. Naap bhi rakhte the har kisi ka. When Ramadan would start, he would buy the clothing for all these people, give it to the tailors, and on Chandrat, on the last day when Ramadan would end, by then the clothing were distributed in all the widows, the poor people and all the orphans. When they would come out for Eid, everybody will be wearing a new clothing. And the poor people would say that Allah Pak Imam Abu Hanifa ko salamat rakhe कि जैसे अमीरों की ईद है वैसे गरीबों की उन्होंने ईद कर दी. May Allah keep Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, give him long life. As the rich people are enjoying their Eid, the poor people are also enjoying the Eid. So Islam teaches us to look for poor people, to keep an eye on the poor people, and keeping their self-respect alive, we should help them. Whatever was said and heard, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the understanding of these things. Ameen. Subhanallah wa bihamdih, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu.